Alright, hey guys, today I'm doing a new tutorial in Adobe After Effects and I'll be going over how to create some really nice glass transitions. So this is an effect that's derived off of the glass triangle preset I created earlier, and I already have a video on that on YouTube. So basically it's a completely free preset that allows you to create glass triangles, and we will need that for this video. Just makes it a lot quicker and easier. So make sure you have that downloaded. I will leave the link in the description, so make sure you guys check that out. And basically what's really nice about this effect is it's super customizable and it's super quick and easy to create, but it also looks really nice. So yeah, you guys will be able to customize this however you want and make some really nice transitions, which is pretty cool. I did want to say that I am thinking of trying different types of content with my YouTube channel, so maybe I'll post some videos more related towards anime. For example, I recently posted a video on the top 3 streaming sites. Maybe I'll do videos more similar to that, so maybe like a top 10 anime list or something like that. I will still be doing After Effects tutorials as usual, but I do want to try out different types of content just to see how they go. So that's going to be coming in the future. So we have opened After Effects. I'll give you guys a quick preview. So I did create this effect earlier as a little bit of a practice. So here is the transition. I'll preview through so you guys can take a look. So let me just shorten this. Alright, so here is a quick preview of how the effect looks. And you see it's a really smooth transition where this glass parallax effect slides through, and then it actually fades through from the glass bar into the clip below it, which looks really nice. And you can make this really smooth, and you can customize this. And what I mean by this is only a simple diagonal slide, but you can always do an upward wipe or a downward wipe, or even have it set right in the middle like this and then split off to the side, so one half going this way, one half going this way, and have it reveal from the middle. So however you want to change this effect, it's all up to you. Today I'll just be showing you how to create this simple glass bar wipe, and then from there you guys can play around with it and really enjoy the effect. So to start the video and tutorial, we're going to create a new composition, set it to 1280 by 720 and hit the OK button. In our new composition, we're going to grab our footage, so let me just drag that in. I'm going to right click, go up into transform and hit fit to comp. So we don't have to play around with the scale values. We can really quickly get it to the proper size. And we do need both of the clips to be overlapping, so because we will be transitioning between them, just make sure they are overlapping each other. So this composition is actually very, very long. So it's 7 minutes long. Let me just change the length of this. So 2 seconds should be long enough. There we go. So we have our footage, and again, the glass triangle preset will be linked in the description, so make sure you guys check that out because we will need that for this video. We're going to start with a new adjustment layer, so just create a new adjustment layer, and then go into your effects and presets and type in triangle. So we're going to type in triangle, and we're just going to grab triangle main for now, drag and drop that. And once we have that set up, we're going to open up another adjustment layer. So again, right click, new adjustment layer. And in our first adjustment layer, click the top item, so that's a blur, and then scroll down, hit shift on your keyboard and click on the final item, which is curves. And that is just going to highlight everything in between. We're going to hit Control C to copy into our second adjustment layer, Control V, paste. And now in our first adjustment layer, we can just delete that. We don't need the positioning and mask and anything like that. So you see that this is really blurry and we don't need the light sweep, so we will disable a couple of effects. So first off, let's just shut off the light sweep. The blur, we're going to leave that for now. magnify tint curves. Okay, so everything else is good. You can leave everything else. So click on your adjustment layer, have your timeline right at the beginning, and then hit U as in umbrella to open up all the keyframes. We're just going to grab all of them and delete. So we're going to get rid of all of them. And now we can play around with the blur settings. So pull this down however much you want. Remember, we will have these stacking on top of each other, so you don't want the blur to be super heavy because it will increase if there is another blur on top of it. So maybe around 1.6, 1.5. That's pretty good. And you can actually shut off the adjustment layer and turn it off and on, and you can see that's looking pretty good. If the tint or anything is too heavy for the clip or footage you have, you can always just drop those down and change that however you want, or play around with the curves. But for now, this is looking pretty good. So we're going to be working with our position and scale values and stuff like that now. So hit S on your keyboard to open up scale. Then hold shift and click P to open position. Hold shift and click R to open rotation. And we're going to start with rotation. We're going to rotate it slowly and just focus on this side right here. We want this to be on a good angle. So right here is looking pretty good. This is a pretty good angle. I'm going to leave rotation for now and go into scale and deselect this this link button right here, so we can only play around with this one right here. So we're going to decrease this scale value, and we're going to get a good width right here. So try to keep it more thick than you think it needs to be, because when it overlaps, this will actually look a lot smaller. So maybe somewhere around 50. There we go. So that's looking pretty good. We have our first bar set up, and now we're going to create our additional bars. So to do that, select your adjustment layer, hit Control D to duplicate, and once we have it duplicated, we're going to open position one more time and just slide that across. So slide it across, make sure the side bars are a good width, and this is looking pretty good. I'm going to leave that for now, and we're going to do it one more time. So Control D on your top adjustment layer, hit position, and again we're going to be sliding it across, and we want these two bars to be relatively the same size. And now you can see that the main bar is actually smaller because we've overlapped it. It's actually not as wide as it was before. So here we have the bar completely set up, and it's looking really nice. The only thing I have to say is, because we are duplicating the tint and the curves and the blur, everything's duplicating also. So go onto your first adjustment layer and shut off the blur. Scroll down, tint, we're going to shut that off. And curves, we're going to shut that off. Don't need any of that. So in our second one, again, you can see if it looks better with or without. So for example, I can just turn off tint and turn it back on. And it actually looks better with tint on, so I'll leave that on. Curves, I'll just shut it off, turn it on. Alright, that looks pretty good. The bar is looking good. I think we can leave it for now. We have all of our adjustment layers, and we have the main bar set up. Now we just need to link it to a control that will, well, control it, I guess. So the first thing I'm going to do is highlight these two and parent it to this. So if you see that it does, right now you see that it adjusted the rotation and it skewed it in a way we didn't want. Just undo that. It seems we'll have to use a null object for this. So just go into Layer, New, Null Object right here. And in our null object, we're going to highlight all this. So click on one of them, hit Shift, and click on the last one. Highlight all of them, grab the parent link button, and just drag it into the null. So just like that, this null is going to control the position for us and allow us to keyframe and edit it. So open up position, and now if you play around with the position, you see that the entire bar is moving all together, which is exactly what we wanted. I'm going to drag it off to one side, just like this. And I'm actually going to leave the effect on a little bit, so just like that. I'm going to set a keyframe and slide across, so 1.5 seconds to around 2 seconds is usually a good length, but however you want to adjust it, that's completely up to you. So once we have it at the end of our transition, we're just going to drag it completely across, and you can decide if you want the bar to slide completely off or leave a little bit of the sort of parallaxing overlapping effect, just like that. So we have the bar sliding across, which is exactly what we wanted. I will decrease this so it fits like that. Now slide across both of your keyframes and right click keyframe assistant, easy ease. So if you can't see keyframes, again, hit U on your keyboard so you can see them. And then we're going to go to easy ease, just like that. So that's going to make the transition a whole lot smoother. Again, if you want to go into graph editor, you can always play around with this. If you want it to go maybe a little bit slower at the beginning, and then maybe a little bit faster towards the end, you could always just slightly change it. But overall, if you just easy ease it, that looks good enough. So again, you see we have the bar sliding across, just like that. Alright, so once we have the parallaxing bar and we have our keyframe set up, now we're going to be working with a mask so that we can show the clip below it. So we're going to start on this moon image, and we're going to grab our pen tool and actually just go right to the middle actually. So you can see the middle of the bar where you want the transition to be, and we're going to set a keyframe right through the bar. So I'm going to do it like this. Click here, click here, and then just grab the other half. And we are going to drag this. So double click so you drag the entire thing. We're going to drag this across. So you may see that your mask is not big enough. So I'm just going to double click, highlight this one. Oops, where'd it go? Please. Just highlight this, drag it out like that. So this side doesn't matter. It's only this diagonal one we're worried about. So we're going to have this set up just like this. And now we're going to slide right to the end of our transition. And we're going to double click once again. Grab the entire transition all the way to the end. It's just like that. So once more, we have to easy ease this. So right click, keyframe assistant, easy ease. And once this has been easy eased, we need to go into graph editor. If you did change this with the graph editor, this must match it. If you left this the same, then you can simply easy ease it. So that's why I'd recommend leaving this. So now we have to adjust the other one. So I'm going to set this to, a point I can remember. So this is 1.5, and this is almost 2.5. So in this mask path, this needs to be about 1.5. This needs to be about 2.5. So these should match pretty evenly now. You can see they are pretty similar. I would recommend just leaving that at easy ease so you won't have to adjust the other one. But now I'm going to go through a quick preview and see how it looks. So we do have the transition, but the problem is it doesn't look as smooth as we want it to look. So you can see that it is a little bit rough because the mask isn't exactly perfect, and we have some overlapping stuff that doesn't look too nice. So the way we fix this is just go into your mask, find mask feather, and just drag this up. Drag this up so you have a nice fade in between. And now if I preview through, you see that it looks so much better. It looks way better now. So again, I'll preview through the effect and you guys can take a look, see how it looks. See it, the mask feather makes it look way better. Super, super nice actually. And there you go, we have created the transition and it does look really, really nice. Again, if it looks rough or anything like that, just play around with the mask feather value. The transition is super easy and super nice, and what's really nice about this is you can just take this bar and switch the keyframe so it swipes the other way or swipes down or swipes up, and you have 4 different transitions right there. So have fun and play around with this transition. I hope you guys enjoyed the video and also the glass triangle preset. I will be posting a lot more frequently. Thank you for watching, and make sure to like and subscribe.